Hello, my name is Gabriel Seyoum, and I am a future world changer who is honored to share what I believe Dr. Martin Luther King's message of hope would be for the world today. Let us remember that Dr. King courageously sacrificed his life to give his fellow brothers and sisters a sense of hope. If he were alive today, he would use the internet to tell us that we can change the world in powerful and positive ways because our destiny depends on it. He would tell us that we are each other's hope, so we should never give up. Now, let's take a trip back in time, and I'll tell you why I think so. As a 5th grade student at Lockhart Elementary, a magnet school for math, science, and technology, I personally find it very interesting that 50 years ago, Dr. King said, all of us need to develop a world perspective if we are to survive. The world in which we live is a world of geographical oneness, and we are challenged now to make it spiritually one. Man's scientific genius and technological ingenuity has dwarfed distance and placed time in chains. The world in which we live has become a single neighborhood. And 44 years ago, he wrote, all inhabitants of the globe are now neighbors. This worldwide neighborhood has been brought into being largely as a result of the modern scientific and technological revolutions. I wonder if Dr. King could see into the 21st century. Today, in 2012, because of the internet, the world really is a single worldwide neighborhood. With one click, Dr. King could instantly spread his message of hope around the entire globe. He will rule the World Wide Web. His millions of Facebook friends and followers on Twitter would be all God's children, black men and white men, Jews and Gentiles, Catholics and Protestants, just as he said in his I Have a Dream speech in 1963. They will be people from many different countries, cultures, and religions who believe in his dream of unity, peace, freedom, equality, and social justice. As a matter of fact, Dr. King will probably post this on Facebook. I still have the audacity to believe that people everywhere can have 3 meals a day for their bodies, education, and culture for their minds, and dignity, equality, and freedom for their spirits. Can you imagine downloading a live podcast of Dr. King using his speeches from the past to deal with the problems of today? I can just see him on my iPod speaking these words of hope and faith from his 1967 speech titled, Where Do You Go From Here? To address the famine in Somalia, the millions of unemployed Americans here in the United States, the survivors of devastating natural disasters, and the victims of terrorism and war. Difficult and painful as it is, we must walk on in the days ahead with an audacious faith in the future. When our days become weary with low hovering clouds of despair, and when our nights become darker than 1,000 midnights, let us remember that there is a creative force in this universe working to pull down the gigantic mountains of evil, a power that is able to make a way out of no way and transform dark yesterdays into bright tomorrows. And since he was a minister, Dr. King would add encouraging scripture from Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you, not to harm you, but to give you hope and a future. Dr. King would definitely use the internet to tell us that we are truly one worldwide neighborhood, both online and offline. He said, the self cannot be self without other selves. All life is interrelated. We are caught in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. I can never be what I ought to be until you are what you ought to be. You can never be what you ought to be until I am what I ought to be. This is the way the world is made. I didn't make it that way, but this is the interrelated structure of reality. And that's why I believe Dr. King would tell us that we are each other's hope. He would say one hope plus one world equals one destiny. So remember, what you hope to become and what you hope to accomplish can make a positive difference in someone else's life and maybe even change the world. And sometime on today, January 13th, 2012, Dr. King would tweet this message of hope to the world. Hope, H-O-P-E, is having optimistic, positive energy. So we must never lose infinite hope. And I will reply, I hope that God plans for me to be a powerful world changer like you. And finally, Dr. King would update his Facebook status with his inspirational quote from one of his sermons. If you lose hope, somehow you lose the vitality that keeps life moving. You lose that courage to be, that quality that helps you to go on in spite of all. And so today, I still have a dream. Thank you.